You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Bad Girls Club After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Bad Girls Club After Show.
I get it. Hey, that's right, I said it. Live the life you wish you Bad girls.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzz? It's Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AfterBuzz TV After Show for Bad Girls Club Season 10 Atlanta Reunion Part 2.
Oh, look at... Man, great minds think alike.
In sync.
Right?
Not the boy band. It's your boy, DJ Jesse, joined in studio by the one, the only, the lovely Chevonne Hughes.
Hello, everybody.
So...
Yes.
I mean, I gotta tell you, I was amped up for this episode. Little let down because I really wish we would cut the bull with the 3 parts. It's just, it really isn't working.
Not necessary.
I want an episode where I'm going to get, I don't mind the first episode being kind of like, I don't mind that. But the second one, it just needs to be like, full-fledged on. I want to see these bitches knocking teeth.
Keep your attention the whole time.
Yeah, you know?
I was kind of bored at some points. I was like, okay, can we move on?
Well, we will definitely talk about that. And we will definitely talk about Bad Girls Club All-Stars starting next week. So excited to cover that. Can't say too much, but I got a little... juiciness about the upcoming season. The girls were out here filming the reunion, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But for you guys at home, if you guys want to join the conversation, you guys can call us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. So, obviously, last time we left with Shannon jumping Valentina, busting her in the face.
Yep.
Valentina went in the back. She was over it, embarrassed, crying. Then she ends up going to the hospital. Drama queen.
Yes.
Alicia's talking mad-ish, which I thought was funny.
Wall.
Oxygen was doing that poll. Do you like Alicia's new look?
Not at
and
all.
What was it? It was 54%.
54% loved it.
Yeah.
Very confusing to me because she looked like Wilson Phillips circa like 1995, sitting on the beach saying, "Hold on for one more day." That is what she looked like. I don't know who told her that looked cute.
You might need a reference a little younger for someone.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Did I just show my age?
A little bit.
I mean, I was kind of a baby when that came out anyway, so I'm still young.
She looked like the 4th Winona Ryder judge sister. That probably just showed my age, too.
Nah, whatever.
All right. So the girls are bugging out. Alicia comes out. She sits on the couch. She's taking her shoes off, her heels off, and putting sneakers on. Drama queen again. Nancy rolls her eyes, says, "I don't want to sit next to this bitch." Which I really want to know where that is coming from.
It's probably one of those, like I said before, like one of those Twitter things, like where it's like people, like you see a video of someone talking, you know, stuff about you in confessional, and then you're like, what? And then you clock it in your mind and you bring it up on the reunion. Yeah,
it's just, you know, it's crazy to me because a lot of the girls say like their favorite thing is to go back and watch the episodes because you do get to see who really is your friend, and they actually. Girls that have already done it, especially with, you know, the All-Stars, the biggest thing for them is, oh, it sucks that we have to go back and watch it, and now we know, you know, hopefully none of my friends said anything, or if your friends did say anything, you have to kind of compose yourself and be like, all right, well, we were in this moment.
Right.
Alicia, what the hell was that whack ass skeleton hand chain thing?
She's just so dated. Everything that she was wearing.
I feel like she tries to be like fashionable, and it just doesn't work.
Well, I like that like retro hipstery kind of thing that she was doing on the show.
That she tried to do.
She tried to do on the show. It's more acceptable than what she's wearing now.
Yeah. Funny story. I hung out with Judy from Louisiana season.
I got that voodoo for you.
And we got into this whole Kanye West debate, and she was talking about how. So this is where I can kind of understand Alicia's style, I guess. I guess the part of Chicago, they're all into the heavy chains and the old school hip hop look, which
Right.
I get that, but I just don't think Alicia ever delivered that. And then again, like, I know she's all about sneakers and stuff, but like, you're on national television, boo. Like, you don't need to be like, don't talk about the shoes, because then we're gonna get started. Like, you sound dumb.
Well, that's all she could talk about. She's so irrelevant though. Like, I mean, like, what does she have? Nothing. She got clowned on national television.
Clifford
multiple
hair.
Yeah, multiple times.
The big red dog. Then I thought it was also dumb of Alicia to be sitting there talking about, it's not fair. Valentina's in the back bleeding, making it like this big thing. And it's like, why are you so mad when you guys have been doing this to these girls the entire time?
Well, that's what Tanisha said. She was like, so you don't believe in jumping? No. Okay, I'm confused because that's all you do. So you're mad at someone jumping your friend when that's all you do?
Right. And then she comes out to say, the only reason I jumped you. Oh, I hate dumb people. The only reason I jumped you was because you told Reggie that you said Alicia jumped me. Okay, so have a conversation. Like, you're going to go off of someone who's irrelevant to you versus confronting her and saying, hey, did you say A, B, and C? If you did do this, like, I have a problem with that, because why are you going out and telling people, like, that boiled you up that much? Like, that you couldn't control yourself?
Right.
I don't know. With Alicia, I'm just kind of like, you're an irrelevant character by...
I gotta remember, though, that they're all really young. They're, like, probably, like, 21, 22, 23, so, like, you remember back in the day when that kind of stuff would bother you, but now, like, we've kind of moved past it, and we're like, okay, now we talk about things. We just don't wow out.
Yeah, that's true, because even back then, I guess, I was like, like I knew the whole world and I knew everything, whatever. But still, I'm still over Alicia. We find out that Paula is Tanisha's favorite.
Yes.
Which is understandable, which you had a very good comment about Paula.
Yeah, I kind of thought that should Tanisha drop out from wanting to host the reunion, that Paula would be a really nice replacement because... like you said, Tanisha loves Paula, and she's kind of like, she plays that same role that Tanisha played, that mother hen, kind of controlling the situation. And there was a clip from next week's episode where she's yelling, she's like, can't I just talk? And everybody stops and listens. And that was kind of what Tanisha was really good at. So Paula, let your people work for you. Get you a job after Bad Girls Club, because there's potential there.
There you go. With Tanisha, I'm just tired of the food thing.
Yes.
It's just you said that you feel like this is something maybe she's creating for herself.
Well, I feel like Oxygen is smarter than that to, like, I don't know, play the obvious joke.
Tell the chubby girl to be like, eat food on stage.
That's just so like I don't know.
Now
below
she has
them,
a giant purse with like treats in it.
Yeah, I mean, and it just doesn't make any sense. I feel like it was her being like, "Oh, this is gonna be so funny." Like, people were probably like back home, like they're sitting at home, being like, "Tanisha, this is what you need to do: get a can of whipped cream, a pie. Oh, it's gonna be so funny." It's just it's too much.
Right, doing the most, Tanisha. Love you, but doing the most.
Doing the most.
Then they get into the whole Nancy and Stephanie thing, which, talk about y'all really pulled it for so long. Like, I think we went to 3 commercial breaks, and I usually break up episodes by the commercials. Usually we move in. Usually you can get like 2 segments of a topic. This went on for like 3 to almost 4 segments. And it was just too long. Nancy complained that there was so much drama in the house. She didn't want to talk about the drama, but then there was just so much drama, and she didn't have fun, but then she did have fun. And I felt like, I like Nancy. I felt like she was trying to do the most on tonight's episode. I feel like producers probably also told her, you know, you got to amp it up a little bit. We need all of you guys at your peak. And they also get these girls, I mean, completely shit-faced before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have bottles and bottles inside of their rooms.
Her outfit was cute, though.
Nancy's?
Yeah. It was really cute. It was sexy. I like it.
It was cute. I wish she did something different with her hair.
Yeah, me too.
Her hair
I like the
always
color,
looks
though.
oily.
Yeah, well, I
greasy
don't know why she didn't use one of the hairstylists that they had there, because apparently, like, they provide that for them, right?
Yeah.
Hair and makeup.
And
she
then
came wrapped up, like, you know, when she came in the
They have
studio.
hair and makeup, and then I was personally surprised that the girls have to bring their own outfits.
Yeah.
I was like really shocked about that. I would have felt like Oxygen for one time after everything they put these girls through. Put them in some, but they're probably like, no, these bitches gonna make a mess on this stage. Like, no, we don't have that kind of money and insurance. Stephanie comes out and says she wanted to screw every girl in the house. And then they go to the whole Stephanie and Nancy sex scenes, in which Dre says he didn't know about, but he really did know about.
Yeah.
I don't think he really knew the full capacity of what we were.
It's one thing knowing about it, and then it's another thing seeing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of...
Yeah, I don't think it bothered him at all. I think
he got back
was
on
very
stage.
excited. Again, like, it's hard to really get into a deep conversation about this episode because that was the big chunk of the show.
It was so boring.
And it was so boring.
Oh, my God.
It's like... I loved Stephanie up until this reunion. I feel like she was... I mean, even talking to her on the phone, she was mad cool. But with this reunion, and I mean, obviously, you know, I wish she was kind of called in now instead of earlier in our season to be able to talk about it. But maybe because maybe there was something there that really upset her, but it's just like, I feel like these girls come back and it doesn't make sense to us, the viewer, because you played this middle person in the house. Where does this hatred come from, or where does this big balls come from? These big balls come from where now you're mad at Shannon and calling Shannon out her name, and it's just like, you know, I thought you were the middle person. I thought you were the cool person, you know, the level-headed person.
Well, that's where the host needs to come into play. Be like, wait, why are you so mad? Explain what happened. And then they can go on, well, this one day on Twitter, like, I heard she was talking about me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we went to this club and we saw each other, we had beef, blah, blah, blah. You know, something to kind of get the as viewers involved in what's going on, because we're kind of like confused. So that's the host job, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And then, again, I wrote topic way too long. So, Oxygen, you know, I always shout you guys out for the editing because you guys do an amazing job. Not this time.
Yeah.
So Shannon comes back out. Bully 101, swallow it like a cactus.
Oh,
like,
goodness.
what?
Where
Who
did she
says
get
that?
these, like, sayings from?
Okay, and then... Shannon doesn't even seem real to me anymore. I loved Shannon in the house, but this Shannon is just like
A caricature?
on meds, or like, I'm sure they were just drunk as hell, but like,
No, they were faded. They were faded.
Which you could see it in Rocky, but Shannon, it was just like, whoa, girl, you have a lot to say apparently.
Well,
all right.
well, let me speak on this though. The word bullying. I don't agree with its use on this show.
Why?
Because bullying to me is like something that happens on the playground and the high school hallways. It's where like these people, like for people who don't know how to defend themselves. Shannon can defend herself. Rocky can defend herself. I don't, like, we're adults. Like, I feel like, I don't know, once we get past a certain age, you can't be like, oh, well, this person doesn't like me. Like, that's bullying. They're yelling at me. They're saying bad things about me.
Okay, but it wasn't just that. It was like jumping and like everyone getting in your face. I do understand the word bullying, and it's funny because that was another thing Judy mentioned. She said, you know, and I thought it was funny that that word came out of Judy's mouth, because obviously she had been hanging out with Shannon, Rocky, the girls all got close on the show. So she came out and all of a sudden was like, I got bullied on my season, which I guess she did on her season. I feel like there was a little bit of no tolerance on her season, which caused her to feel like she was bullied. But with Shannon, I feel like she was bullied to a certain point. There was a point where it's like, all right, Shannon, well, you know, I was soft as a cotton ball, like I was a daffodil, like she's coming up with all these phrases, like I was fluff, like, all right, well, I get that, but after a certain point where then now you're training with Rocky, it's like, well, now you can't say about the bullying thing, because now you're putting on a different phase. Now, before Rocky, I do think she was bullied. I think she was being used. I think people were taking advantage of her. Do you think even though she played it off like she was taking advantage, but I just think that was the weak person trying to make themselves seem like they weren't. Oh yeah, I'm letting them do this. Like, no, bitch, you know.
That's what I thought. I thought she was just playing a game.
Well, I did too, until at the end there was no game that was even being played.
Right.
So I get the bullying thing. I also think like someone said something to Shannon and she was like, oh my God, if I use the bully thing, everyone's going to be on our
It's
side.
so fashionable. So in right now.
Like
bullying.
No bullies on your shirt, like over dramatic. You know, but I do think she was bullied, and even Tanisha admitted that she was bullied. But again, it comes to a certain point where now you have Rocky on your side, because I guess there is a weakness in Shannon, because even when what's her name stood up to her, Rocky was like, stand up. Yeah. Like, someone has to tell you to stand up for yourself. So, all right, I'll give that there's some sort of mental situation there. Alicia says, you guys are very marketable.
True.
It's very true, and you're mad. You're so mad right now because
you don't have a feature past
you're
the show.
Irrelevant. Yeah. Alicia, you're very irrelevant. I hope you went to school. I hope you have, you know, a degree for something, because
she's going to come out with a single next week. Probably.
Lord Jesus.
They all do.
Issafar.
They're like Real Housewives, you know, like a Real Housewife will come out every other month with a single. That's what the bad girls are becoming.
I never knew, which I kind of did know, but I didn't know how long she had been a rapper for. But Lucci V, Erica from last season, is like a pretty respectable rapper in Chicago.
All right. Well, I guess hopefully we'll be seeing more of that on
hopefully we won't be
All Stars. No? All right. All right.
Then we get into Paula talking about Shannon's fake. What did you get with this whole thing? For this one, I just felt like, Paula, you're doing the most.
I think she made her point. I mean, she got Shannon to kind of retract what she was saying, which was like, yeah, you didn't deserve to know the real me. You don't deserve that. And then Paula was like, so then you're saying that you were fake? She's like, yes. So I think she made her point.
To me, I don't get that point. I understood what Shannon was saying. It was like, I showed you my true colors. Right. And then you guys were bullying me, being rude to me, like, for no reason. So, yeah, now because I mean, there are people, I say it all the time, like, there are certain people that don't deserve to get to know me. Right. Now, it's not meaning that I'm fake to them. It's just, I have no time for you, and there's going to be a wall up. So, I feel like that's what Shannon was trying to say. I think maybe she just said it incorrectly. We watched when Paula apologized to Shannon. I felt like Paula wasn't really admitting to that part. I mean, she said, you know, me apologizing to you was being a real ass bitch, and like I wanted to be cool with you. Awesome, hand claps to that. But then what are you doing now? Like, why are you arguing with her now? Like, if you know how Shannon is, why are you doing this? I get it's the reunion and you got to start all this rah-rah stuff. And I love Paula. I just think I don't like when Paula gets mad, because I feel like it's kind of like, really?
She's doing it because it's expected of her or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just probably, you know, you like put it aside, you got over it, and then you sit at home and you watch this person talking crap about you in the confessional. True. And so it brings it up and you're like, how was I such a fool to apologize to her? Like, that would make me a little mad.
But here's the other thing, though. I feel like none of them ever look at, like, yeah, Shannon was talking trash, but think of what you guys were doing in the house to see that. So now you go back and watch it, and when you see what she said in the confessional, you want to get mad about it. It's like, well, no, you guys were treating her like a bitch, so she's talking trash about you. She's a weak-minded person. So, or she didn't confront people. So, of course she's going to talk in the confessional. So why are you mad about that? If you're the bigger person, it's like, okay, well, that's what she said during that time. Okay, well, here's where we are now. Then Nancy's like, no, Paula, sit down. She gets up in Shannon's face, which I was just waiting for this to happen because Shannon literally picked Nancy up and flung her on the ground. It was so funny.
It was, and then she came back out, didn't she? Nancy? Is that the fight you're talking about?
Well, yeah, not at that time. She came back out later. But when she pushed her down on the ground, she was being pulled backstage, and then Paula starts yelling at Shannon, and you couldn't really hear what they would sound like, two ducks quacking, and then Tanisha and Alicia were eating their little whipped cream. Then Nancy comes running back out.
No, first she was like walked calmly out. Then it was like a walking start, and then she just lunged.
Like, I'm gonna walk to the stage. I'm gonna walk to the stage. No, I'm gonna hit this bitch.
Yeah, because otherwise the security would have been on top of her. She was smart about it.
Punches Shannon in the back of the head. Rocky, like, why would you do that when you know Rocky's there too? Rocky grabs her, is like choking her out, pulls her back off of Shannon. I'm kind of excited to see the part 2 to this fight between Nancy and them.
Well, that's why I was hoping a friend of mine was going to call in because he was in the audience, and I kind of wanted to know what it was like sitting there for probably like 8 hours, you know, watching these fights, and like I don't know if like he was afraid for his safety, because you said that on those tapings they signed like a waiver, like audience members, right? I
mean, I know I went for the Real World show, which is taped in the same exact studio, and yeah, you have to sign a lot of paperwork, so I can imagine what that set is. And that set is really small. It looks big on TV. It's really, really small. Like, yeah, what's her name? When Nancy threw that, I was that treat or whatever dessert thing that was of Tanisha's. Yeah, like they have to have signed something. So Stephanie comes out. Rocky was like, if y'all, say you like me, why didn't you give me a chance? Stephanie said, well, there was a bad vibe about you from the beginning. Now, here's, again, where it's just like, are you girls hearing what you're saying? You didn't give this girl a chance. I get what you said. Oh, well, everything was going good in the house. We just figured the next person coming in would. You spoke it into existence.
Right. That's
so
true.
I can't really sympathize with you guys there. You have to understand why Rocky completely took Shannon's side, because Shannon, yes, probably was open to the fact of wanting Rocky on her side. But Shannon also kind of gave her an open chance, which I feel like Shannon did with Nancy. I can't remember with Jen. But try to be open with both girls, you know what I mean? The new girls, and kind of.
My question is, though, like, why did the house have a completely different reaction to Jennifer than they had to with Rocky? Like, two both very confident girls, probably Jen not as confident as Rocky, but beautiful girls walking in. Why was one immediately disliked and the other one was immediately welcomed? Exactly. So it's just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I said, like Rocky is a lot more, she's much more of an imposing figure. She's tall, she's sturdy, she's gorgeous, very confident. That's threatening as hell to some insecure people like the ones that are in that house. I don't know.
And I also kind of I feel like Jen is kind of a intimidating feeling. I mean, she has a beautiful body. She has a pretty strong presence. I feel like with Rocky, it's just there's a realness to Rocky, like a very chill, like even kind of tomboyish. Yeah. That girls could kind of be like, you know what I mean?
Well, they also said like past the initial meeting, like they had issues with her quote unquote sluttiness,
Right. And then, for Paula to keep bringing up the whole, you put Rocky in the bed with your friend, it's like, I get it. But obviously now we're at a place where Shannon and Rocky have been friends for how long, and they're still close. It comes to a point of well, maybe Jerry was gay. Maybe, obviously he's not, but, you know, obviously, again, like Shannon said today, I would trust Rocky in the bed with him over any of these girls in the same room as Rocky. Drop it. I get it. It happened. It was probably not the right thing to do because, what you know, you don't know Rocky's background. What if she was raped as a child or, you know, some sort of mental thing, you know, she could bug out. But it just, drop it, Paula. Like, it just Paula, I don't know. I love Paula, but I feel like producers are getting under her, like, oh, you got to spice it up. You got to spice it up. And so she's just trying to dig for anything she had.
Well, that's why I was surprised when you told me that she was going to be on All Stars, because I was like, well, okay. She didn't really get involved into, I mean, she had her little moments.
Well, apparently there's going to be some moments with Paula. So, I don't know. So then Jen comes out and she starts beefing with Shamrock.
And her pink catsuit.
Yeah, she looked good.
I didn't like the outfit. Her body is
good.
amazing. I think she has one of the best bodies on a bad girl we've ever seen, aside from Morgan.
Agreed.
But
you think Morgan really?
Well, I mean, I think Jen is probably better than Morgan. But like,
Natalie Nunn's body was pretty nice.
Yeah,
but Jen's wins because she's just petite, but it's still the right proportion.
I don't know. I just think someone who's as beautiful as her could find a better outfit.
What do you think about Jen? I'm not even gonna. Well,
I can't.
No, because I was just gonna really go in right now. I'm not gonna do it.
We'll save it. We'll save it for All Stars.
We'll save it for All Stars. Because she will be on All Stars. All right. So then she takes her shoes off and wants to fight. Takes her shoes off and says, I gotta handle something. Like, obviously security's gonna come up now. Like, what are you talking about? She puts out that Shannon's car is repoed. Now, here's the other thing. I feel like anything Shannon has said to any of the other girls has been stuff that was that happened inside the house. These girls have said things about Shannon that obviously Shannon said, which obviously you don't go in the house telling people your personal business, but they attack her from outside things. They make fun of, you know, the whole sugar daddy thing. They called her a prostitute, which, remember, that affected her, got her really upset. And then you're talking about her car being repoed. It's like, well, bitch, I'm sure if we dug in half of those girls' past.
Jail. Probably, like, I don't know, God knows what else.
I could imagine what it is. Credit card theft.
Yeah.
Like, girl, bye.
None of that happened. They weren't attacking her based on, like, her character. They were attacking her based on, like, something that happened to her.
Right. So Jen comes kind of running up to Shannon. Shannon kicks her in the stomach, which...
Slow-mo kick.
Yep. And then we kind of end it there, and we're going to see where that leads next week.
As they tend to do, they cut it off right in the middle of a fight.
On
Frustrating.
that note, let's head into predictions.
Uh-oh.
Let's head into predictions.
I know, I'm working on it. Had to quit soundboard and reopen it.
And now, your AfterBuzz.
That's Steven keeping it real for you guys.
Failing at keeping it real.
Predictions.
All right, so you know what I will say about this episode? I did like that they replayed the whole Valentina thing, so I felt like I did get a big chunk of the reunion. That whole Stephanie and Nancy thing really killed it for me.
Well, it was just like what I was saying, like the middle episode is always just like the filler. It's just
I felt like this episode is better than last week's.
I guess so, but I guess, yeah.
Obviously next week is going to be the cake. We get Irrelevant #1, who was on the show for like 2 days.
Janae.
And then we get Nikki back. We're going to see what Jen really has to offer, so I'm really excited. And then we get these fights. We get Valentina versus Nikki. Or Valentina's back, Nikki's back.
Valentina's back in a new outfit. So
walking out like she just owns the place.
Yeah.
Like, girl, bye.
I like at the beginning of
situation.
Of the episode, she was like,
You
I'm
mad?
too pretty for this shit. I'm like,
No,
okay.
you mad you got punked on TV. Oh my God. And you know what? I'm going to give a special shout out to you next week. I retweeted it, but you need to go on Twitter. One of our fans, I remember last week when we were talking about Valentina.
I think it's Sweet Girly Chick, I think it was.
Valentina falling on the stage looked like Bambi. on the ice. So I showed Julie and the girls that. They're dying. So sweet girly chick, tweet that at Julie because she wants it right now. Hilarious. We're going to get Shannon versus Nancy. And then it looked like Nikki and Shannon versus Jen. I don't know who's going to really give it to who. I need Shannon, though, to really step it up. And if you're going to beat someone's ass, just I want blood.
You want, like, civil action taken in court afterwards.
Like, I want you to go from this reality show to Judge Judy's reality show. I need that from you.
Locked up.
Right.
Bad Girls Club.
All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys tune in next week. We're going to have a special double episode. Obviously, we get the reunion part 3 as well as Bad Girls All-Stars back to back. So we're going to wrap it up in one giant fun-filled episode for you guys. Make sure you follow us at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hit us up on iTunes. Download, rate, subscribe. Leave us a comment. And please hit us up on Twitter throughout the week. I love all the funny pictures and videos you guys tweet at us. You can tweet me at DJ Jesse J.
You can tweet me at Chevonne_Hughes.
Until next week, same time, same place. Peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, bitches!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.